So you work with the students associations there?
Yes.
To ensure that the crowd is there, because otherwise your participating employers also expect that certain X number of participants.
Like 4,000 over.
4,000 over in the reason.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow, that's cool. Are they from a certain area in UK, or they travel from different places? Awesome.
All over, up to Scotland. I know that some even come from France, some even from Germany.
Hi there, welcome to another episode of Work Around Podcast. And today I am chatting with the owner of the company that creating the pathways for the graduates. I don't know if this is the right way for me to describe your company's Nabil. So I have Nabil here in my show, and welcome Nabil, and good to see you here today.
Hi Mei Fong, thank you for inviting.
My pleasure. But perhaps Nabil,
yeah.
Based on what I described your company, perhaps you may want to explain further what's the cool things about your company.
Well, if I were to describe myself, I describe Graduan as a platform where graduates and employers meet, where they can find each other.
Oh, so your customer will be employers that are attracting the talent, at the same time the fresh graduate as well?
Maybe three. One is the employers, one is the talents. In Graduan we don't call them graduates, we call them talents.
Talent, okay, yeah, definitely.
So and the third one is actually the universities. Yeah, so all these three, we work together with them and we built this platform of Graduan. It could be on ground, online, or anywhere, and then where they meet and they find themselves.
Yeah, cool. Yeah. Now, maybe mind to share the history of Graduan, how long you guys have been in the market, and also I personally see that this is a recession-proof business. What do you think?
Maybe it is recession-proof, but we always have to be ahead of the trend to always stay relevant, because we are working with young graduates, and you need to be relevant to them. That will always be using your services.
Yeah. How long you have been in the business?
We've been around, actually, in 14th of April. We're proud to say we are 30 years already.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
So maybe
amazing.
Share with us about your company's journey.
Well, it started by my family, my mom and dad, actually, when they see that there's a lot. This is like in the early 90s. They see there are a lot of graduates coming out and they don't really know where to go. And whenever they go and meet employers, the employers will say to them, we are hiring experience. We're not looking for fresh graduates.
Yeah.
So at that time, the only way that you look for graduates or look for jobs is through the newspaper classifieds, right? So you just mark and then you start calling them.
Yeah.
So what we did was we went around and visited most of the companies around, mostly of the big companies around, and to just check with them, are you hiring fresh graduates? And if you're hiring fresh graduates, what sort of positions, what sort of disciplines are you looking for? And then she compiled all of them into a booklet, like a directory. I mean, some of you know it's like yellow pages.
Yellow pages, yeah. Okay.
So, but doing the directory is not enough, because the employers say, if you are going to compile a book, we need to speak to the graduates.
Okay.
So that's when we got writers, freelance writers to come in. We got editors to come in. And then we do every year a booklet of this magazine called Graduan. Or actually it's called Aspirasi Graduan in 1994.
Now I recall. Yes, I read about that magazine before, Aspirasi Graduan.
So
yes.
it's
that's from you guys,
from
your parents. Okay.
Yeah, the employers will speak to the graduates. These are the kind of qualities we look for if you were to join our company. And this is what we look for, how we go through our interview process and everything. So all that's compiled into a magazine, and it's given out free to the graduates in all the universities. It's free because what we earn is through the advertising.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, we have to earn somewhere. So,
definitely.
So it's from the advertising, and also a lot of this magazine goes to Malaysians studying abroad.
Including any specific countries that you're focusing on?
Majority will go to where the Malaysian graduates. I think in the 90s, right, it was a lot in US.
Yeah.
There was UK and Australia. These main 3 countries. I mean, there's a few Taiwan, Korea, but there's very small numbers lah. But majority goes to UK, US, Australia.
As the the industry evolves, you guys are also eventually moved to digital platforms. Right?
Yes, yeah. We have to actually ever since I came in to the company.
When did you join this company?
2005,
2005.
2006.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. So I keep saying that we can't do this for very long already. We have to go online, fully online. But at that time, we already had a website called Graduan. It was called Graduan.com.
Okay.
So, but at that time, I mean, my mom and they didn't really know how to run an online thing. And but what we have is database of students and a website. So, I came in and revamped. I think 3-4 times, find the different programmers, keep changing, and until I found a stable tech team already.
Yeah, and a good 14 years for you guys.
Yeah, because I know that we need to change. We cannot just continue. But some of my references were looking at Yahoo.
Yeah,
So
still
that's
Yahoo.
all how they do the articles.
Correct. Yeah, that's cool. Still
New
very
sites,
primary.
new sites actually.
New sites. Yeah. So talking about the changing trend, right? How do you ensure that the event that you organize reflect and promote the latest trend, for example, DEI, in all your events and also campaigns?
You know, most of the things that we do come from the people. When we speak to the graduates or when we speak to the employers. I remember for many years ago, I'm not name dropping, but Johan Raslan, I think he was from PwC. He was talking to Puan Ilya, my mom, that if Malaysian people with disabilities can represent Malaysia in the Olympics, why can't they get a job?
Yeah, okay.
So why is it so difficult for companies to hire them? So my mom took that as her own personal project. So we finally managed to do a career fair in UKM. So we spoke to, I think that at that time, one of the people at UKM was Tan Sri Wahid, and he supported that, and we got the government to support that, and we got like companies to come in, and because it's a government thing, it's free.
Okay.
Companies will come in and we get buses and buses of disabled students, because every university, they have a disability department.
Correct.
So they will get buses of them, and then we did the fair in UKM. They wanted to host at UKM because that's where Tan Sri Wahid is. And it was the first time, it's eye-opener for me and eye-opener for a lot of the employers that they said that they don't know the stories behind all of these people.
Yeah,
and
I'm glad that the companies are also very open and supportive as well. How was your response, and how did you measure the success in your first ever OKU event?
I mean, measurement of success it's hard to measure, but I know that going there, I see the crowd, I see the feedback from the companies. They were all very happy, and I heard a lot of them were hired.
Okay.
So to me, it's a successful event, and they want to do it again. This was just before COVID, a month or two before they closed everything. So we held on to that, and so that's why we wanted to continue that, but we wanted to continue in a bigger space. So that's why last November we usually do one career fair in KL, Aspire, and when the second. But we can't just do one. We need to do a second half. Because our second half of the year was quite quiet. So, let's do something. But it's not so much of the fair, more of the conference. But at this time, let's have a theme to this conference. I said, let's bring back the one we did with disability. We call it Graduan Next.
Graduan Next.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Next, actually, because of our company name, BizConnection. So,
Okay.
Next, yeah. So, we call it Graduan Next. So, but the specific theme of it is DEI and sustainability and inclusiveness already. So we got everyone again. We got the universities, and we got like people with disabilities again, and we got all the companies that's willing to hire people with disabilities and to have a mini career fair. Actually, that's a smaller one, but it's still packed lah. But we specifically focused for diversity. So we got people who can do sign language. We got people who can the ambulance people were there in case of anything, and then we got special room for interviews just for them. So I heard a lot of people get hired. Even I was interviewed by people with disability who wants to do their own magazine or online.
Awesome. Yeah.
So-
No, I'm glad that, the companies are getting more, higher level of awareness about this. Okay, but maybe are you able to share what kind of facilities are offered by the companies in order to have that kind of a friendly environment? For example, wheelchair. For example, for someone with a vision impaired talent, right? I mean, did you really go in and qualify further? Okay, you are hiring, you are very supportive, you are in my event, you are talking to all those candidates, but when they come on board, to what extent your environment is friendly to them?
Okay, some companies they do the extra mile. I mean, I can't help, like some of the offices, the old buildings, they don't have all of that. But like I know when we ever spoke to Dan, the CEO of HSBC, they say we are moving to TRX. We have all the wheelchair friendly and things, but where are the talents? So this it usually what we do usually comes from the employers and the feedback also.
Okay, good.
So when they say this, and then that's where we look for the talents. But also, even the last career fair I went in UK, when I grabbed some of the brochures from the companies, then I said, hey, this is Braille.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
So actually, I mean, I don't check
They are
every single,
ready. So
but I
maybe
know
some
they
employers
have
are
made
ready.
efforts.
Okay, yeah. I think that concerns me, right? Okay, you participate in the event, you're open and be ready to talk to all this OKU's talent, but to what extent you are ready in hiring them?
Yeah, we don't want them to just do it for the sake of taking.
You are right. So that's concern me, but glad that you have some success stories to tell. Now, this is more on the current trend itself, right? So just now you talk about your clients. You have three parties to work with. You have corporate clients, you have your talent, and also universities itself. What do you see in terms of the changing trend? What's the latest? What do they really want? Let's talk about three parties here: employers, talent, and universities.
Actually, what they want doesn't really change for years and years. When you go to the companies say they want the best talent, but everyone wants the best talent. So, but when you say the best, like what is the criteria of the best? I mean, academic results is a given.
Okay.
That's given. But now
they still emphasize on academic results. For most of the clients.
Most of the clients.
Okay, right. So because why I ask so is because recently we just had our skill-based talent episode. We talk about non-degree holders. But it's fine. Okay, this is another requirement.
Most of my clients are from like the accounting firms,
mainstream.
the banks.
So okay, understood.
If you want to do audit, you need to have an ACCA.
But you'll be very surprised, Nabil. There's one Big Four that actually have removed degree as one of their key criteria. But we can discuss further. But it's okay.
I think I know which one.
Okay. So what do they want from the let's say three parties, right? So let's focus on corporate clients first.
What they want is actually a good person.
How do they find good? Did they really specify, okay, Nabil, for this group of, for this career fair, I'm already targeting on this kind of talent. Did they really, come up with the specific requirements?
No, I'm just saying from what I see.
Okay.
They don't say it because the first criteria is the best that they can do is it's higher based on academic. And then I'll say once the academic is done, then after that they look at your personality tests and all of those tests. So just to find out what your character is, whether you fit into the company.
So these are the two key criteria they're looking for fresh graduates: academic result and attitude.
And then because sometimes when your CV says that you travel the world, you represented Malaysia in sports, that's a bonus because it shows a lot of the sides of character.
I used to in that position, we always looking for, like you said, the best, the right one. But I always emphasize that the right talent for the right organization. Let's talk about our talent, which is, I would say, is that without your corporate client, without talent, without talent, without your corporate clients, right? Let's talk about talent. Any trend that you observe, what do they really want in their future companies?
What they want is actually a company that understands them. Because sometimes they have like other commitments like family.
Okay.
So now most 9 out of 10 times I interviewed someone, almost all of them will ask me, do you have a flexible working arrangement? Can I work from home and all that? So I think that whole work schedule has changed a lot, and a lot of companies are adapting to it to attract the talents. So one thing is they want someone, company that they can see, but I think a lot of times they look for purpose. So that's where all this DEI sustainability thing comes in. If a company is smart, they will use that and promote their initiatives to attract the talents.
I see. So you see, based on my observations in career fair and also events itself, there are companies that are willing to invest a lot. Like for example, big one, they are offering, I saw like bubble teas lah.
Yeah.
I got like games and free gifts and everything, right? That would attract the talent of visitors to visit the booth, and then where the recruiters and HR started sharing lah to make them excited. What do they have, right? In that particular event itself, on particular day, we know how to attract the talent come to our booth. Then where we do our own pitching, etc. But I know that you do a lot of data gathering research, because I still want to focus on the what talent want, right? What fresh graduate want. Any maybe top one besides flexibility, a working arrangement, any other factors that they are looking into?
Every year, whenever they come in to this fair, they have to register. Okay, other than naming their favorite employers, everything, we ask them another set of questions about certain things like what is it that attract you?
Okay.
So if I don't have the data with me, but if I can remember, the number one is actually a working culture.
Okay, culture.
The culture. I mean, still
what is culture is so subjective, right?
I feel it means like a good working environment
for them. This is their perspectives, right?
Yeah, someone that will guide them, and I think mentorship is one of the things, but it's also something that they can see a long career path.
Okay. So Nabil, talking about that, maybe after the show, you may want to share more data so that we can share with our audience and also our listeners as well in our YouTube or also our LinkedIn and Instagram later. And also, let's talk about universities. I noticed that you guys started going to universities aggressively, but I also noticed that you tend to go to private universities more. But is it because of the ratio of your talent mostly come from private? What about public universities?
No, actually, you'd be surprised. We go with the public one more.
You go to public more.
Yeah.
Okay. So what do they really want from universities' perspectives?
Most of the universities, when it comes to universities, we work mostly with the career officer. So their KPI is that their students get hired.
Okay.
Because when their students get hired, maybe the schools get ranking.
You are
higher.
right. Yes. Okay. Eventually about ROI. Okay.
It's all that lah. So what my job is to work with the university is that I am doing this event, that you can bring your students over, promote to your students. I am bringing a company over.
So
give
you
talks.
are bringing the companies over that willing to work with you to target certain university students.
Because sometimes some companies find it difficult to contact them.
Okay.
Yeah.
I see.
Yeah, because they don't know where to go, who to contact, and everything. So we are the middle point.
This comes to my next questions on Nabil. What is the difference between if the company go directly to the students or to the universities versus the value given by Graduan in going together?
Because when they go to the companies, or when the companies go to the university, they say, I want to do a talk. Most of the career counselors especially in the private ones, they have very little control of the students. What they can do is just promote to the students. We are booking a lecture hall for a company to give a talk about their opportunities, right? So, but you cannot force them to come. But the public, you can more or less force the students to come.
Okay.
I mean, not really force lah, but you can have more control lah. But when it comes to us, when we get involved is that because we have this group called Graduan Ambassadors. So every different universities, we have our representative.
I see. Interesting. You appoint the ambassadors in
Yeah, it's
in
like
your
our own
universities?
management training program. So you have to come
see.
in, we interview you, then you get chosen.
I
So your
see.
job is to promote Graduan,
I see.
Graduan
I
Fair,
see.
or promote the companies
Okay.
under Graduan.
Do you pay them?
Yes, we do
Okay,
give them.
all right.
Yeah. Then so when it comes to like a company like XYZ company wants to go to give a talk, but when that means if how many students come or don't show up, there's nothing that they can do.
Oh,
Yeah,
I
so sometimes
see.
they have that, but when they engage us to do, we need to get the students
I
in.
see,
So we
I
will
see.
have to. Everyone comes, we get a free Starbucks voucher. We will do
Okay,
promotion and
alright.
get the ambassadors to tell their friends and really push through lah. So to get at least the hall full. Yeah.
Okay, so that's a different value add by Graduan. Now, you share a lot, and also based on your track record, I mean, Graduan is seen as very much targeting on the urban market.
Yeah.
Am I wrong?
No, you're not wrong. But yeah, it's because our events are in KL.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and why? I mean, what's your plan, Nabil? I mean, for tier two city, for example, maybe other big cities like in Northern, in Penang and JB, or even Sabah Sarawak, KK and Kuching.
Yeah.
I mean, they do have their graduates. Probably they want to work there as well, right? So, I mean, of course, now JB, I mean,
No,
Johor,
JB is
Penang, they're
growing,
attracting
yeah.
their own investors, and we also have Invest Sarawak.
Yeah.
What's your plan?
Well, when we first did the first Aspire, it was huge. It was more than what I expected. The crowd and everything. From the second year, we got students writing in to us and say, do one in Borneo.
Okay.
So we did in Sarawak twice.
When was that?
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Maybe
Which means it was
2000
not that reason lah.
No, it's
But then
quite
what
long.
what happened after that?
2013, around there. Twice, 2 years back
Okay.
to back. It was well received. There was a huge crowd and everything. But because we are a private company,
Okay.
so we have to look at our investments and everything.
ROI
Right? So
again.
yeah, I mean, I wish I could do everywhere and to give more opportunities. But when we look at it, right, it's just not as not say profitable
I
lah, but it's
see.
just it's better that we focus on KL.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why not take it as part of your CSR? I mean, this is my suggestions.
I mean, we do a lot of CSR.
I see.
CSR work during COVID time, and every year we do a lot. But maybe when we're better off, we can do more.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to, because my concern is actually where all those talent from, like those places that I mentioned earlier, are they just like other graduate in among their friends where, okay, just apply the job, instead of like they have a platform, everyone get together, all the companies there to share, in sharing their employer branding initiative, etc.
So what we do actually, our fair in KL, that's our biggest fair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you have a student from all over the country come over.
We got students from Johor, Penang, Terengganu, all the states.
But
all
most of the
university
companies
will
are
send
still hiring
buses.
in Clang Valley, right?
I don't know.
Yeah,
Yeah,
okay.
I mean-
don't you track?
I mean, I don't need to track, but I know most of the companies are a little bit biased lah.
Yeah.
Am I saying something wrong?
It's fine. I
Yeah.
mean, that's pretty real. Like Clang Valley. Yes, of course, Clang Valley is the place where
Because
all the talent are in. But then for me, is that, let's say you want to diversify
Yes.
in terms of the business, right? We have
that
talent.
depends on the company's business.
I see.
So when I did in Sarawak, so some companies, we're opening a office in Sarawak. Then we participate.
Okay. But Sarawak is another different
Yeah.
culture where the preference is always given to the East Malaysians, because for us, or from Semenanjung, we still need a work permit to work there, right? So, I mean, I look forward to have more, because for me as a talent person, I
Yes.
really hope that, we can have the talent all over the countries that contribute to the nation
where
building and the
we
economic growth
definitely,
as well.
But when we do something like that, we will definitely do something virtually lah.
Yeah, virtual, yeah. I
Virtual
think-
to begin with.
Okay,
I know virtually alone will not be strong enough. I need
okay.
but
Look
something
forward
that's
to. Okay. Now you also I noticed that you guys also, recently came back from UK.
Yeah.
Tell us more, and how many companies are participating in your UK event, and what was the outcome, and in terms of ROI perhaps?
The UK event has always been one of our flagship events.
Is this your annual event, and why only UK?
Again, like when it goes back, we started the UK in 2005, and before that, right, there have been a lot of talk of the employers that in the magazine, they will say we want to hire students from the UK or overseas graduates. That is if they come back, and when they do come back, where do we look for them? So at the time, we say that the best way is to go there and catch them before they graduate.
Okay.
Then they say, okay, you organize, we will go. So that's how the UK fair started. We spoke to the student body there, and just agreed with them, make a partnership. You bring the students, we bring the companies, and then it just grew. It became very very successful.
But
event.
do you see do you track like how many students have been successfully hired from UK?
We used to track, but
why not now?
No, I have not done it yet recently, but because ever since the COVID time, but we used to track, but some companies don't want to say.
Okay.
Yeah.
They don't intend to disclose the data lah.
Yeah.
But let's talk about the students or the
Yes.
talent perspectives, right? With the weakened ringgit, the economy situation in the country right now, due to this trend, do you think that they're still keen to come back, or they have options to continue staying out of country?
Surprisingly, in the UK, it isn't such a problem.
Okay, so everyone is still eager to come back.
They're eager to come back. Let's say the word is more open.
Okay, more open
and coming
compared
back.
to you see
I'm
the
comparing
trend, you
to
see the
Australia.
difference. Okay,
Yeah. I'm
Compared
comparing to Australia.
Oh, I see.
Australia has always been a tougher market for us to grow.
Oh, means that people prefer to stay back in Australia after studying. Is it because of the Australian government also offer the certain
Now they
permit?
do that. Yeah, even in UK when you do the Brexit or all these tougher laws, right? You see the crowd. Wow, this year like more crowd.
Interesting, yeah.
Yeah.
But or maybe they are here, they are shopping around, or they are sitting on the fence. But I hope to have more data, because I think Nabil, brain gain and brain drain is always
I know.
my hot topics here, right? So I would like to see more organizations that are able to share data,
Yeah.
or maybe through these conversations, Nabil, we also hope to have the feedback from graduates overseas. What factors that will make you come back to Malaysia?
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But one of the good things is because when they go to overseas, right, the top management comes.
Okay.
The managing partners, the CEOs, and then they take them out for dinners. Really, all that happens.
Yeah,
So
okay.
I mean, they feel good about themselves. So they more likely I'll.
What's the conversion rate after dinner, after the talk?
I think higher. I mean, it helps more when your managing partner or your CEO is there.
I see. So you work with the students associations there?
Yes.
To ensure that the crowd is there lah, because otherwise your participating employers also expect that certain
the
X number
crowd
of
was like
participants.
4,000 over.
4,000 over in the recent.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow, that's cool. Are they from a certain area in UK, or they travel from
All
different
over,
places?
all
Awesome.
over, up to
Awesome.
Scotland. I
Yeah.
know that some even come from France, some
Scotland.
even from Germany.
I see. That's great.
Yeah.
Cool. Now, talking about the clients, your participation clients, right? I realize that, of course, again, most of our clients are, big professional companies and big, and association. I think Nabil, offline, we talk about that. I have not seen any SME or smaller organization participating in your events in the past. Correct me, I'm wrong. And how can we help this group of employers? Because I still think that they also deserve to have a good talent.
Of course.
What's your view on this?
I'm an SME also.
Okay. Yeah.
So
Right.
one thing about SME is they may not have the budget like how the big companies. And
Are you too expensive to work with?
no, I'm not. Things are all everywhere. It's so expensive.
Yeah.
But they will go for most of them. I think if they need to go, they will go for maybe a university fair.
Okay. They
Or
do
will-
that. Mhm.
Or they will go for a university fair, not that cheap nowadays. So, or they will go online, job portals and
Okay.
everything. So what's missing is that also another thing also, even if they participate in the Graduan Fair, sometimes they find it very hard to compete.
True.
Because next to them is Accenture.
This is what I, like in the beginning of the show, asked what the talent really want. We're talking about corporate culture, for example. It's too subjective. Probably SME players
Branding
offer
a lot. Is the
branding.
branding of the companies. Yeah,
It's so too marketing centric.
it is.
I was in employer branding role, so I fully understand. I think perhaps why I'm asking these questions, Nabil. I'm actually try to have a DEI element in our hiring, which means that everyone is equal and equally exposed to the talent that we have. But I also would like to take these opportunities to just podcast conversations that reach out to maybe Nabil and I. We can have a different level of conversations that what SME really want in terms of the talent, and how can we work together in attracting the talent for SME space. Because I realize this what you said, probably they just advertise, probably they just grab whatever they have. I mean, how to grow, how can we need talent. People is an asset, right? They need help to help the SME to grow as well. So I don't know to what extent we can help each other in this job market.
Previously when we did the Aspire, I wanted to get a group of not SME startups.
Oh yeah,
startups. So when I spoke to
you wanted to, but
but
success
rate very low take up. So when I spoke to MDEC said, okay, we'll get a big booth.
Yeah.
We'll put 10 small booths inside there and put all our startups there.
Okay.
So it becomes like it's a 2-day fair. Then so 20 startups get to be represented.
Okay.
It's because it's all funded by MDEC.
I see.
So
this is dollar and cents investment.
Most of the time for the startups, and also most of the time for the SME, because startup, there's different level of startup. There's a real startup. There's also huge startups.
yes.
There's also like SME, which is really small SME, and there's really huge SME who can go public, but they don't want to go public.
Correct.
Those kind of things.
Precisely. So my view is actually when we talk about employer branding, talk about culture, probably companies like that were able to attract good talent if they're able to come up with their own stories as well. Again, as you said, it's about the marketing, right?
Yes.
So I mean, how about the MDEC thingy? I mean, how was the response? How many talent are willing to join startup? I think this is another different, interesting conversation.
Strange things to see that, when I look at our survey, I think it used to be most people were going to the banking.
Because banking.
But again, because it's marketing, because the budget that they have to go out and
the
everything.
benefits that given. Everyone want to be bankers.
And then second is usually the oil and gas also.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. And then the third one now is, last time the technology is somewhere behind. Now I say like number 3. Because I thinking it's technology. When it comes to technology, I'm thinking about people like Shopee, Lazada, TikTok. They went to UK somehow.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So these are the kind of companies, again, it's all the marketing thing that they say, okay, this place is fun.
For young people, precisely. Fun. Again, fun is under the category of culture. Right? Yeah. Okay. Now, I think talking about the fun part, I also want to come back to the more on the macro issue with unemployment rate. Talking about reskill of the graduates still become our national issues. To what extent, Graduan able to add value in this? Because every time we read the news about our graduates are not ready, and Graduan side say I cannot find a job. So maybe I just want to hear from you how Graduan can add value in this.
This is a very sensitive issue, I'll try my best.
Definitely, you can try. I mean, just your point of view, right?
At the same time, we're having a brain drain. At the same time, we're having unemployment rate. So that means the employers only want the best. So there's a lot of catching up to do with everyone else.
How do you differentiate yourself versus your friends in the market?
Yes. So what we Graduan we, in our own way, is that almost every day that we're in the universities, we're engaging with the students, and we have our own career boot camp that we teach the graduates how to upskill
I
themselves.
see. Cool.
How first, before you have the hard skills, you need to sell yourself,
Yes.
because the skills can be taught,
Yep.
and there's tons of online material that you can just buy and do the course. Then suddenly I'm a digital marketer, yeah, but basically it's the right attitude and the right skills and how you present it, because there are many talents here. It's just that they can't speak and they can't show to themselves, and then maybe we are too quick to judge that no, this guy cannot, no, that guy cannot, the girl cannot. Then I'm like, without giving them a second look, or maybe if I give you a chance, don't disappoint me.
Oh, cool.
Maybe that's
the
it.
kind of mindset.
Yeah. So, but we work with a lot of other, won't call it startups, but like startups to help engage this under. They call themselves EduTech.
EduTech.
So one of them is called Reskills. It's an online platform. You download the app, and it's like basically $1 a month, and you can take out any courses you want.
Okay.
And then whenever we have our Graduan events, we will invite them, and they will help students to download, and they will teach them and everything. So other than us going to all the universities, we also bring them along, and we also partner with this other group called Timba. They teach kids, especially all from the rural areas, actually not rural, urban and everywhere, on getting their ACCA license, getting their ICAW license and everything. So it's so that they can change their life. I think that's what, when my parents started doing Graduan, so I think that was their intentions, to help someone change their life, to have a better life, to take care of their family, to just change the situation where they have now.
Yeah. Thanks for this. I also would like to add that when we hire graduates, right, as for company, yes, of course, big company, they do have a management training program. I want to get the cream of the crop in the market, etc. But when we hire the fresh graduate, we also have to understand that what we are hiring for, what's the purpose. If you're looking for someone that doing technical, is that okay for us not to focus too much on the communications? I mean, of course, during interview, the most outstanding one will be selected because of the communications, their thought process. But go deep into that. What is the objective of hiring for that particular position? Whether you're hiring for a project base, you're hiring for long term, then please do, take note into that consideration. Of course, as you said, like the talent side, of course, they also need to continue upgrading yourself, make them more outstanding, right? Now, last question for you, Nabil. I remember in the last year event, I was in the event, in the award event. One statement that I still remember until now, which is in your speech, in the opening speech, you say that you don't want to be like another award company that just giving away the awards to to participating employees. How do you differentiate yourself with other competitors in helping your clients, which is 3 parties that we mentioned in the market?
Oh, again, this is a different topic. Yeah. I mean, I always had the award, but I didn't do a dinner because I don't want to focus too much on it, and I don't want to be associated and pigeonholed into that, because if I pigeonhole myself as an award thing, right, and if my award lose value, because every year is going to be the same thing, and if it loses the value, everything else will suffer. So I always say that if I want to differentiate myself, everybody else, is I create platforms. So whether the platform is a video format, an article that you read, or a career fair, and the diversity thing. So I will always come out with something new. And that's why we are now 30 years, because we are willing to throw away what's working and what's profitable, throw that aside to work for something in the future.
Okay.
So I don't want to be stuck. And I don't want to sit here again in the next 5 years and say, I'm a career fair organizer. So I have to come up with something different again.
Look forward to have more innovations in Graduan.
Thank you.
Last but not least, any I think I still would like you to send a message across to our talent, our graduates out there, what to expect in the next few years.
What to expect in the next few years?
How to prepare themselves better in the in facing, or at least in your event.
Okay. One thing I can say, right? Every time when we do a career fair, and then we do a networking session, or when we bring companies to your university to give talks and everything, a lot of students say, I waste my time because there's no point of me going for that. I only come when there's a job interview. I only come when I'm sure of a job interview. But all of this is part of your process of you getting the job interview, because you need to learn to network. Even if you get the job, and if you don't know how to speak to people, you're not going to move far in the company. You need to be able to hold a conversation with people, and that sets you apart from everybody else. So what's new is we will do more, definitely, especially on Graduan side. We'll do more online platforms. We're coming up with a new website soon that I hope that you will find someone that you can follow from this website. And then we will keep doing more, but I need the graduates all to put yourself out there more, not to be so afraid of rejection and not so be as afraid of embarrassment or whatever.
Yep.
Just go out there, and the more times you go out there, the better you become, and the more confident you become, and the more people will see you in a better light. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Brilliant advice. I think that conclude our conversation today, where I don't really need to come up with the summary of this conversation. Nabil have said it all. Thank you so much again, Nabil.
Thank you, Mei
really
Fong.
look forward to have more DI elements in your
Yes.
events, in the things that you do,
Yes.
and continue offering different perspectives to our talent, to employers, and also the universities as well.
Thank you.
Wish you all the best. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thanks for watching this episode, and we catch up again soon. Bye.